way out. Let's go.
Okay, now it's back to business. Gotta show them reasons why the team is undefeated. In the jungle, wrestle with the demons and the leeches. Wanna see me fall, so they join the coalition. But I've been on a mission, Gamble on me, every dollar you should wager, Best in my division, like I'm Kobe on the Lakers, Enemies arriving, I can feel the sense of danger, yeah. Here to win the battle, ain't no fear, I never waver, yeah. I can never settle, gotta go and get it all. Every 24, I gotta hustle till I fall. Push it to the limit, like I'm Scarface, that's the law. I've been going crazy, I've been balling off the wall. I can never settle, gotta go and get it all. Every 24, I gotta hustle till I fall. Push it to the limit, like I'm Scarface, that's the law. I've been going crazy, I've been balling off the wall.
Look, coach put me in, I jumped off the bleachers. Pressure was my favorite teacher, you would never see me fold. I got the pick and roll, bro, got the give and go. Arm in the rim, feet swinging with some gusto. CB4, 5 seconds on the clock. Cross and he's supposed to drop. Shake and bake, watch the feet spread like it's country crock. Back to back wins, we the champs of the melting pot. We came to your house and turned up like it's party rock. Pressure, pain, everything that made a champ. Execute game, never was my final dance. Really made a name, let the city have a chance. We are not the same, and you can hear the people chant.
I can never settle, gotta go and get it all. Every 24, I gotta hustle till I fall. Push it to the limit, like I'm Scarface, that's the law. I've been going crazy, I've been balling off the wall. I can never settle, gotta go and get it all.
I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can top that. No way. Critics try to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell them all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on, and I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on. Then when they see they missed the boy, they get a tantrum on.
Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to Designated Spittaz. It is I, and I am him, Pete Simonetti, with the one and only grandmother slapping Francis Lee.
What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Y'all thought y'all was going to sleep on a Sunday night without hearing from the Spittaz. I hope y'all didn't think that was going to happen.
You know, I was going to get really nasty when I gave your introduction, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be nice. There's no reason to go that crazy. I'm coming off of just eating some Chinese food, all right?
Yeah?
I'm upset already with my choice.
Late night Chinese food, had to do it?
Late night Chinese food always hits because you want, like, you know, man, this is what DS is about.
Come on.
We don't always got to sit here and just talk baseball. So, chat, I need to ask you guys a question. You turn something on television, right? You're looking on Netflix or something. You find something really good. Right before you press play, you go, what's missing? Hold on. You go, I don't have anything to eat. Oh, okay. Before I do it, let me get some food here first, and then I can actually watch what I wanted to watch. So that's what I did. So chat, let me know if that happens to you guys, if you guys feel the same way. Francis, I know you do.
Oh, no, it's a fact. You already know. We had this conversation, man. I'm a big, proponent of Netflix and chilling with a plate of food. That's what I do. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I was telling Pete, I won't start eating until I find the right thing to watch.
The chat is agreeing. The chat is agreeing with us, all right?
Of course.
Okay.
Smart people.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I need to take a couple of deep breaths in between right now because I'm so damn full. I literally just finished not that long ago, so it is what it is. But anyway, the New York Yankees. I mean, you talk about a team that is a little full at the moment. They are full of playing some good ball, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. They lost today. I get it. But they do win another series, their first series out west. And, man, I think game one of this series had the best inning, the best half inning of a year.
Oh,
Soto
sure.
homer, Judge homer, Doogie ball off the wall, just missed it. and then Stanton with an absolute bomb to cap it off.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the 3-game set with the Padres?
I mean, it was a lot of fun. I gotta say, just from the outset, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you expected to have a fun series, Yankees, Padres, a lot of star power on both sides. And maybe it gets overshadowed because people are looking ahead towards the Yankees Dodgers stuff. But I was really excited to go and, seeing the Yankees go into Petco and, getting to see Dylan Cease against the guys. Yep. And game one, bro, just from the jump, I mean, the Yankees really set the tone, and they've been doing that a lot this season where, I mean, compared to the last couple seasons where I felt like we had a problem, setting tones and keeping just maintaining the right vibes.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that this year. Like it seems
Not
like
at all.
they come out to win series, like they play to win. They don't just expect to, which is something that you've always said for years that it felt like that for a while. And this series was no different, man. They showed up game one. I mean, poor Darvish, bro. He got put in a spin cycle. I mean, he was turning around so much. I thought he was going to have neck problems at the end of that. I mean, it was like, by the time Stanton hit that home run, I was like, somebody get this boy a neck brace. It's like, have mercy on. I mean,
he was even looking a couple of times like, the fuck, what the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
Like he's looking around like, what's happening right now?
Like, it was almost like the Soto one. He's like, I mean, damn, Juan Soto, he got me. He's all right. Judge is coming up. One of the hottest hitters, probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now. I'm not gonna let him get me. Oh shit, he got me. All right. Let's settle down. All right, let's settle the fuck down. All right, we got Alex Verdugo here. He's a good hitter, but it's not too many crazy power numbers or whatever. Let me get off the wall. He almost hit him out. He almost took him deep.
He did, all right off the wall to left field. It would have been back to back to back. Then potentially.
You get Stanton after that, and again, he's playing well.
Bro.
He's hot right now.
That ball
he does hit well
smoked.
in Petco. But Darvish is a strikeout pitcher. I'm sure he's thinking, I'm gonna get right here with Stanton.
Yep.
Stanton had other plans. Stanton
hit a mammoth home run.
Dude, I was away for the weekend, but I'm getting the notifications on all the home. I can't believe it. And then I'm just going and I'm looking at the repost that from the NYY Underground page on Twitter, and you and Kev's calls just get better and better every time.
Hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Like the first one with Soto, you're just like, hit in the air to right field. Oh, you do your regular Soto thing.
Yeah.
And me and Kev both had, but by the time it came to Judge hitting the back-to-back, you're hype about that. But then Verdugo hits the ball, you go, like immediately.
Exactly.
And then Stanton was like, nah, now you're through the roof. This is insane.
Yeah, it's like
you feel like now you're witnessing history. This is crazy.
I mean, when we talk about the potential of this offense, like that's what I mean. Like what I saw that day. Yeah. And I'm sure like other teams around the league see that and say, look, Darvish is no slouch. This is a a veteran, been in the league a long time, a good pitcher. He's made a lot of money because
he had a 2.08 ERA.
I mean, this is what I'm saying? Like this is not a bum.
Right.
So it's like, but when you see this, it's like, again, like this is what we mean when we say that this offense has every opportunity to be a historically good offense. Like
Facts.
That's what we mean. An inning like that. It's just of a guy with an ERA under 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
his ERA was 2.08, I believe, coming into that game, and then it ended about a run higher because of what the Yankees did to them. To his credit, he still managed to go 6 innings. I mean, even though they got him all that time, he still managed to actually give him 6. Connor O'Neill with the super chat.
Thank you for being a friend.
Bum, 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 bum. Darvish to the IL with neck pain, watching all those balls. Yeah, watching all those balls go flying over his friggin' head with absolute bombs and tanks. But the Yankees also win game 2. And then today's game, I think, showed us maybe a little bit of what could be a weakness for the Yankees. And I do want to get into that a little bit because, trust me, we're starting to get to that time when everybody is starting to already think about trade deadline. And oh my God, we're getting closer. When June hits, well, the deadline's the following month, towards the end of the month. So everybody is kind of, getting into that mode now. Well, what do the Yankees need? We know that, Garrett Cole is right there, even though the Yankees rotation has been the best in baseball. I mean, they've just been that damn good, but we know Garrett Cole's on the way back. We know that Jason Dominguez is there. Just in case if somebody goes down in the outfield, something happens, we know Dominguez is there. Gleyber Torres had one of those weird Gleyber Torres games like only he seems to be able to have. He'll get a couple of hits, but then he'll get picked off base and make a ridiculous error in the field. To the point that Rod Thompson put a super chat in right after a shout out to Rod Thompson. He was like, look, at this point, I'm just done with it. Get him off the team. Like, at this point, I am just completely done with it.
Yeah.
I made a point, and I want to see if you agree with me on this. Because a lot of people were like, why don't you just bring up Peraza and just let this guy go already? And I'm sitting there going, with 1 year left, I think the Yankees are kind of, they recognize that if Gleyber could just get back to hitting the way they know he can, he's a better option than anybody that's available. And I think that's kind of their mindset, right? Is that we're going to, if we let this guy go or if we benched him or whatever it is that some fans want, maybe we got to take a big risk here with one of these other kids. But if Gleyber got hot and he starts hitting consistently, we kind of know who this guy is, and he's going to be batting seventh for us.
Exactly.
It's probably best case scenario.
I think when I look at the Gleyber Torres situation, the way it is right now, I think you got it kind of spot on. I mean, obviously it's not ideal. This is not the season that we expected from Gleyber. Look, I'm on record in the first roundtable before the season saying I thought Gleyber was going to come in this season and have the best season of his career, being that he's going to be a guy who, you know, the focus isn't on him this year. It's Juan Soto, it's Aaron Judge, it's been Verdugo, it's been Stanton, it's been pretty much Volpe even. It's been so many other guys, Rizzo before it's been Gleyber Torres. So it's like, you know, when you get to fly under the radar like that, I think for a guy like Gleyber Torres, that bodes in his favor. He still hasn't been able to really produce. He still hasn't been able to really get going to you know, start hitting with any consistency. And the errors in the field are just, I mean, you guys are seeing it. This is just not good looking at all.
Not at all.
Like this
Not
is
at all.
And oh man, I'm looking at this and I'm almost like sad because
it actually is sad. It's sad to see in a way. It is.
This is not
really
who he is.
And
It's
you know
not
what I
who
just
he is.
noticed? That's why sometimes I actually like pulling up Baseball Savant. And I think it is a fun little thing to look at. I really do. It's kind of grown on me a little bit to look at this page some. But you can also kind of relate this to the eye test when it comes to Gleyber Torres. And what I mean by that is one of the main things that Gleyber Torres has always been pretty good at, especially at Yankee Stadium, is he'll drive the ball out to right field. He'll drive the ball out to right center field, even with home runs. He can take the ball out that way. If you look at this here, he's doing no damage whatsoever to right field. He got 2 doubles to right field all year, and that's it. That's it.
When Gleyber Torres is going right, looking at this spray chart here, and your top right-hand side of that space that's completely empty, when he's right, he's hitting the ball there.
Correct.
He's not hitting the ball there. And I mean, again, you've heard this approach from the best hitters the game has to offer, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and they're telling you, I'm going up there trying to go the other way.
Yep.
And then, you know, adjusting. Because when you go up there with the approach of I'm going the other way, you have the whole field open. But when you go up there starting pull, you close off this whole side. And again, I mean, I feel like we've been through it all with Gleyber, bro. I'm like, at this point, like I'm trying to, I'm running out of excuses for him.
Yeah.
So at this point, does it make sense to make excuses for him, or does it make sense to just say, listen, it's his walk here. We're gonna play him. We're gonna play him out there. You know, barring any injury or anything crazy like that, he's gonna be out there. We're gonna give him every opportunity to set himself up to get a contract with another team, and then, you know, we'll say our goodbyes and that's it, because that's what it's looking like at this point. I mean, I don't see a world where, I mean, shit, bro. This might sound crazy to somebody, but it's like I had an idea, and I told Rob about this actually, like maybe right before we did the roundtable, that if Gleyber Torres figured it out, right, at some point throughout the year, right, like say he continued and he had a bad, you know, first half, but then he turns it on in the second half, and you're the Yankees, I was like, do you extend the QO, the qualifying offer to him,
It's
just
tough, right?
just to see, like,
Yeah.
look, it's 1 year, right? I think it's 1 year, and I think it's up to
19,
like
right?
19 or
19.
20. It's like it's either I think it might be 19 this year, going up to 20 or 21
Yeah.
next year, but it's
Yeah.
right around there, like 20 million. 1 year,
Yep.
like 20 million. Do you extend him the qualifying offer just as a feeler, saying, "Hey, listen, you had a bad first half, you did have a decent second half, but maybe you're not going to get that contract that you think you're going to get. Why not come back another year and give it another go to set yourself up going into free agency? You're still young enough. You'll be going into free agency as a 26-year-old, so you're not you're not going to be that much. You're not going to be much older. You probably can still get a good deal if you come back next year and have a good year with us."
Right.
But the way that he's looking, like
Scary.
defensively, on top of it, if you're Cashman, like, how can you like just look at the 20 million offer and say, yeah, we can give Gleyber 20 million this year? I don't think you just can say that.
It's hard, man. You can't, especially too when you add in the other factors, right? Hal Steinbrenner's recent comments, which
Yes.
the way you broke that down is the right way to look at that. Is that what it kind of forget Soto? A lot of people jump to Soto. No. It's all about the other guys that are kind of coming off. Hey, look, it might be tough to say bye to Clay Holmes, but we might.
Yeah.
It might be tough to say bye to Gleyber Torres. We're probably going to. Hell, I might have to pull Aaron Judge in the room and have a conversation with him and go, hey, look, Anthony Rizzo got to go for the $6 million. We got to pay him and tell him to go because we got to keep this guy. We want to lower that.
Yeah.
But the good thing is this, and, when it comes to the conversation of are they going to replace Gleyber this year, I think one, you can have a much better opinion of this come July. Let's just say, for an example, Gleyber's the same player now in July. Now I think you really do have a conversation because how much more time are you going to give him, and are you going to trust him enough to not make the bad plays in the field during the postseason of big games? Or are you going to sit there and go, look, we've been with this guy for this long. Let's stay with him. What are we going to trade him for? I mean, you know what I mean? What are we going to get?
Yeah.
So does it even make sense? Or do the Yankees go, we're going to try somebody else out, but who is that person? Is it Caleb Durbin? Is it Yorbit Vivas at that time? Is it DJ LeMahieu? And maybe there's a guy at third base the Yankees add. There's a lot of questions that are going to be asked when it comes to Gleyber Torres, and I think that is going to be more, we'll have a better idea come July. And, I think then you will have a better idea of what they'll do. But probably the bigger concern right now for the Yankees, because one, the offense is kind of working. One of the bigger concerns, in my opinion, for the Yankees is their bullpen.
Yes.
And specifically left-handed pitchers in the bullpen when it comes to Gonzalez and when it comes to Caleb Ferguson. Caleb Ferguson, when they got him, I was excited about it because I'm sitting there going, all right, this is a guy who's kind of been there and done that. He's been around a little bit. He throws hard from the left side. It could definitely be a nice addition to this club. Caleb Ferguson has been an absolute train wreck for the Yankees. Almost a 6 ERA.
Yeah.
Gonzalez got smacked around a little bit today again. And when you look at his stuff, you don't see, a Wandy Peralta. You don't see that guy that just had it in those moments. Like when he comes in, you go, all right, Wandy will get out of this. I'm kind of confident here. You don't have that with either one of these guys. And then on top of that, the Yankees minor league system doesn't really have a flame-throwing left-hander out the pen or a guy that throws 95 out the pen that's a lefty that can jump in. They got a shit ton of righties that could kind of get right in there. Then, of course, the guys coming back. Efros is a righty. The Yankees are expected to have, Hamilton coming back on Tuesday. Yoendris Gomez was sent down. Another righty. So I do think if you want to look at early trade targets, left-handed relief pitching, in my opinion, is going to be pretty on the menu, so to say.
Yeah. I think I agree with you there. I think it has to be at the top of the list if you're Brian Cashman. And I think when we look at where we're at in the season, you were saying it, before, and I think you said it really well, where, at this stage in the game, late May, going into June, this is when, GMs start looking around the league because this month of June is when teams are going to really tell you who they are, right?
Correct.
And what I mean is buyers, sellers, are miscellaneous. This is the month. June is the month. Like, it's really tough to call a team a seller in May. I know we love to do it on Twitter, just for
course.
the banter or whatever. But it's really tough to call a team a seller in May or April, no matter how bad they start, because you just don't know. And baseball is that kind of sport where a team can turn it on and start looking different, and you don't know. But June is pivotal, and we're going into June now, and obviously the Yankees are buyers, but we need to see what the market's going to be, and we don't know that until some teams define themselves. So, like right now, I couldn't even tell you like who the flame-throwing lefty bullpen name is that like I have, because I don't have anybody right at the top. There's nobody who's just like, oh, this is obvious. Like,
I have one actually.
Well, see, so that then good. See, this is why we on DS, because I've been thinking about it and I'm just like, damn, like somebody who I think is going to be available, somebody who I think we got the pieces for, that I think Cash would trade the pieces for. I don't know, but it's like for sure, we're going into the month where we're about to find out. Teams will define who they're going to be in June, and then July is all about trying to make the deal work, the art of the deal.
So the guy that I'm talking about is obviously on Miami, and that's Tanner Scott, because Tanner Scott has, been there and done that. That's a little dig at Baltimore too. He's a former Baltimore Oriole, so I think that's something. Do I think he's gonna come to New York and just be some electric lights out reliever? A little different in New York than Miami. A little different than when Baltimore wasn't as good as a club and then the New York Yankees. But he's a guy that has a little bit of command issues, but when he's around that plate, he's pretty damn dominating. So a guy right there, I think that can make a lot of sense. But you're right what you're saying, because I'm even going to pull this back up here, and the Braves actually got some really bad news just now. Ronald Acuna out for the season. So absolutely sucks for the Atlanta Braves. So Ronald Acuna is done for the year. I know he did an interview after the injury, and I think he said it kind of felt like last time when I was out for a month. So he's like, right now, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But he is apparently going to miss the entire season.
Wow, man.
So Ronald Acuna out for the year absolutely sucks for Braves fans. Thankfully, I'm not a Braves fan, but I feel bad for the player overall.
Of course, always.
But looking at this here, forget about the games behind for everybody. Just about everybody is still in it because you got the wild card.
Exactly.
So, the Blue Jays 5 games out. Of course, the White Sox are done. The White Sox are one of those teams where it's like they're going to sell. We know that.
Exactly.
But nobody else in that division is really out of it. The Angels, 8.5 out of a wild card spot. Oakland, 7.5 out. All right, they're getting close. Miami, they're right there to be kind of out of it. And that's it. There's not really anybody else. Colorado struggling a bit too. But there's not really anybody that you look at now and even towards the time of that deadline that are simply just going to go, unless we really feel like we're pretenders, we're not just going to go ahead and go, hey, look, we're open for business. Who is it? Unless you're the White Sox, unless you're Miami, those teams are definitely going to sell. We know that. Yeah. But it's very, very hard, like you said, coming here towards the end of May, where we're getting about a week away now from June. It's very, very hard to kind of pinpoint what moves are going to be made and when. But I don't know. At this point, it's a wait-and-see game. I don't know if maybe Caleb Ferguson turns it around as it gets a little warmer out. I don't know if that's the case with him. I don't like what I see. I also don't like his body language on the mound. He seems very defeated right now, which is understandable. And Gonzalez is kind of, to me, just like, he's kind of like he shouldn't be your 1A. He's kind of like your backup left-handed reliever. Shouldn't be your 1A.
But I think it's going to sound crazy because, Victor Gonzalez is the guy that gave up the 2 runs today or whatever. But I feel like Victor Gonzalez has kind of met my expectation for him. Like, this is more or less what I expect him to be. He's kind of in that, like, it's going to, again, it's not a shot at anybody, but it's like when I speak about Nestor, right? And people, I don't expect Nestor to have a 2.5 ERA. Like, I expect Nestor to be around 3.5, 3.7, something like that. Just keep us in games kind of thing. It's a little bit the same with Victor Gonzalez. Like, I expect you to, come in, you're going to get touched up, every now and again. But, for the most part, you're going to be able to come in and get outs. You might not strike out that many guys or whatever, but you keep the ball in the yard, keep us in the game. Right. That's really what I expect from him. I think Ferguson, is the guy that, when the trade was made,
he's the 1A, right?
You look at him and you're like, yeah, okay, like, let's go. A nice lefty, throws hard from the, good fastball. Like, okay, like I can see this late innings. You know, we need a guy. We don't have Wandy anymore. We're looking for that Wandy replacement. Yeah, all right, let's ride. And no, like, his bro is not Wandy. Like he's not even Wanda. It's he's got no wand. Like it's like I don't know what I'm like.
He's
and
not even Wanda, bro. That's
bro,
wild.
it's like because it's just funny, right? Because you brought up Peralta, right?
Yeah.
You remember how good Cashman felt about that trade.
Yeah.
Like you
guys seen
remember that.
Wandy? I remember I was making fun of him for a minute. Then I was like, then I started using him. Like, have you guys seen Wandy?
Exactly, like this guy. So I know that he was super excited about that. And I feel like this offseason, that had to be one of the things on the big board for Brian Cashman. Like, look, Wandy's not going to be here. We got to find somebody to kind of fill in that role. And if I was a betting man, I think that they were betting that Caleb Ferguson was going to be that guy.
No
I don't
doubt.
think Victor Gonzalez was brought in to be that guy.
Agreed.
I think it was
Agreed.
Caleb Ferguson, and I think thus far he just hasn't been able to get it done. And like you said, when you look up and down the system, we really don't have that guy. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's gonna be something that's gonna be at the top of the list, in July when the Yankees are. Well, not even in July. Like I'm saying, it has to be this month. It has to be June. Like it has to be now that Cashman and his team are doing the legwork on, okay, what's this
What
guy
is
look like
available,
from over here? Like, let's keep tabs on him, and if he does become available, let's make sure we're on the phone. Like, they need to start looking now because we don't have that guy currently on the roster.
Not at all.
I don't think we do.
No way.
And we're gonna need him.
It's a
We're
big
gonna
part.
need him.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
big part of this team. I mean, you go back to the last time the Yankees won a World Series in 09, DeMassa Marte was one of the biggest reasons for the Yankees to win. I mean, DeMassa Marte came in and, guys couldn't hit him from the left side. He shut down your Chase Utleys. He shut down your Howard.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard. He shut these guys down. So it is very, very, it's pivotal to have that especially in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody in the chat just asked, I just saw something here. White Sox getting ready to unload. I don't even really, I know there's guys like Kopech in there, but again, these are right-handers. I'm specifically looking at lefties right now, and I got another name I want to ask you about, and maybe he'll be the guy. It's going to sound crazy. Maybe. Nestor Cortez.
Listen, it's funny. It's like, bro, when we were talking, I think it was the last roundtable. We had the discussion, I think, when we were talking about the future, right? And looking towards, all right, like what's going to happen, down the road. We got Cole coming back, maybe Dominguez, and we were talking about that whole thing. That was my stance. I personally believe that Nestor probably will do well in a role like that because of how versatile he's been for the Yankees. I feel like, yes, he's been a starter the last couple of years, but I feel like people forgot like the way that the Yankees got him to become the starter that he is today was super unorthodox. Unorthodox. He was open. He had an opener. They tried a bunch of stuff with Nestor, and he's always been amenable. Like he's always been like, yeah, whatever the team needs, like I'm down there. And look, may sound crazy because you see his fastball 93, 94, but this season he's touched 96 with a fastball. It's not that it's not in there. I just think when Nestor Cortez is starting, he can't give you 96 on a fastball because he's trying to give you length.
Right.
And he doesn't have that kind of arm. He's not built that way. Look at him. He's short, stocky. Like his body is not built. Like I'm not saying that he can't touch it because we've seen him do it, but he can't throw 96 consistently for 4 or 5 innings. But if you're putting him in the pen, and you're saying, look, we just need 1 inning from you. Shit, he might give you 96, 97. And then with all that funky stuff or whatever, that's hard to hit.
Yeah. And
they bring up the first inning problem too, but and
these are all decisions they're going to have to make, right?
Yeah.
These are all decisions that the Yankees are going to have to make because they do got some tough ones. And the best thing right now that is happening is that the rotation is making these decisions very, very tough because this is not a Jason Dominguez situation when it comes to Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is going to be in that rotation no matter what.
Yes.
When Garrett Cole is ready, there is no prove it. There is no let's see the arms okay. When Garrett Cole is ready, it's like, okay, Garrett Cole is ready. Garrett Cole's in. Somebody's out. Sorry.
Exactly.
That's just the way it goes with a guy like Garrett Cole. So when you think about it and look at it with how good this rotation has been, and I know you want to talk about this guy, but Marcus Stroman today, I mean, again, an amazing performance.
Yes,
Carlos
sir.
Rodon, 6 shutout innings.
Yes,
Our
sir.
guys lit it up this series, pitched phenomenal. Today, Clarkie is a little off. It was a little wild. Threw a lot of pitches, a lot more than he needed to. But again, still pitched a very, very solid game. When you look at the rotation and you go, hey, somebody's got to come out. Yeah, I know the Luis Hill inning thing, and that might be it. You know, fans might get pissed, but the Yankees might sit back and just go, sorry, but Hill's that guy. We're going to limit him this way. It's going to make us do this. I'll be honest with you, too. I really actually like what Chris said from NYYST. I love the idea of potentially just having people that piggyback Louis Hill, and he stays in maybe 3 innings. You give him 4 to start, and maybe a Nestor or somebody like that automatically piggybacks. Or if you need Nestor in another situation, kind of utilize him that way. I know it kind of takes away from the pen because it's kind of like eating up another additional guy. But I don't feel like there's a perfect answer right now for the Yankees.
This is really one of those situations where, bro, you can slice it any way. There is no perfect answer.
Somebody's going to be mad when it happens. That's simple.
There's no way. There's no answer that's going to make everybody happy. There's no answer that's going to make everybody happy. There's no answer that's going to make everybody in the fan base happy. I think because even if they did say, okay, Nestor, you know, you're the odd man out. Like, we looked at the numbers and we just can't, you know, justify taking Luis Hill out of this rotation right now. So we're going to move you into a different role. And, you know, that's what we're going to do. There's going to be fans out there that are going to be like, but Nestor's the more proven starter. This kid, Luis Hill, like, he could blow up. His arm could get tired down the stretch. And then if he gets tired and you decide to shut him down later in the season, and then you want to bring Nestor back, if Nestor looks like shit, it's on you because you took him out of the starter role. So now he's not worth it. Like, again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. People probably won't want to hear this, but it's actually true. If you do decide to stick with Luis Hill, there is the possibility you stick with Luis Hill in the second half. The arm starts to fatigue. Remember, he's coming off an injury. He hasn't pitched that many innings yet. There is a real possibility that somewhere down the line, he starts, you know, losing maybe a little bit of velocity or leaving the fastball.
I think it's almost guaranteed, to be honest.
Yeah, a little too middle. And then if he starts getting hit really hard and it's at the end of the season, fans aren't going to feel comfortable saying, hey, or, you know, we're going to put him out there to start a game in the postseason. People are going to be like, no, I don't think so. Maybe we should move him to the pen and bring Nestor back. But then you bring Nestor back, and then he's all out of whack. Why? Because he hasn't started in a couple months.
Correct.
You can't.
Correct.
So these are things you got to think about because it's almost like, listen, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But
facts.
But there's also
it's gonna get criticized no matter what. We know that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be one of those moves when the Yankees go.
Answer.
I mean, and it could also be, you know, it's also one of those moves where you got to be really smart about it too, because you don't want, you know, players in the clubhouse to be angry about certain things.
Exactly.
There's a
the
lot
vibes
of
are good right now.
The vibes are good. There's a lot of thought and conversation that goes into that. But I think everybody's also understanding that we're not talking about bringing up a Will Warren and say, hey, I'm sorry, but we love this guy so much, we got to figure out a spot for him. I think everybody's smart enough to go, we're bringing back one of, if not the best pitcher in the game. So, yeah, he's going to get in the rotation. We know that. Rod Thompson with the super chat. He goes, fellas, so sorry I'm late to the show. I was at my in-laws. Love that Gleyber took accountability, but he's got to step in. Francis, I found a bat cave to Green Grove. Damn.
He did. Yo, Rod, the other morning, he scared the shit out of me. He sent me a picture of like a street sign. I'm like, damn, like, is Rod like
outside my
like
house?
Sending me like my house? That's something like that. And I look at the street sign, it said Green Grove Way or some shit. I said, oh,
he
shit.
Sent me that shit too.
He found my spot. He found it. I said, God damn it, Rod. He knows where I'm at.
He always knows. He always knows, damn it. But no, I mean, yeah, you know, these are all things that are gonna have to be answered. And you know, it is what it is. When it happens, it happens. And look, we're gonna come on here and a lot of us are gonna have opinions, we're gonna have takes. Obviously, I think the most reaction of any two moves would be either Louis Hill or Clark Schmidt. Now I'm gonna sit here and say There's no way about Clark because he doesn't have an innings limit.
Yeah.
And we know that. So I just don't see that being a possibility. I think the two guys are Hill and Nestor Cortez. I think
agree with
those
you.
are the two options of who would get moved out of the rotation. 6-man rotation, you guys don't got to talk about it. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do a 6-man
They're not going to do
rotation.
that. It's not. And,
Marcus Stroman, I think himself would just be like, yeah, not happening.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, right, because I've been seeing a lot of that, and I get where people are coming from because there were teams, there's some teams that do it or whatever. Right now, there's not I don't know of any team doing the 6-man rotation currently.
Yeah.
I know that a couple years ago it was a thing that was popularized or whatever. Cool. Let's call a spade though, right? That's not a realistic option for the New York Yankees.
Correct.
It's not. All right.
Correct.
The group of guys that the Yankees have in this rotation it might be one of the most particular groups of guys in all of baseball. Okay.
Right.
Garrett Cole got pissed off when Billy Crystal took too long to throw a first pitch. All right. Like, no. Like, let's really fucking get down to the brass tacks.
How you get mad at a city slicker?
You understand?
How you get mad at a city slicker like that?
He blamed his first inning blow up against the Red Sox on Billy Crystal taking too long to throw out the first pitch and the opening day ceremony. Okay, so you think he couldn't wait 4 extra minutes to get on the mound? You expect him to wait an extra day? Okay, that's one. That's one guy. Carlos Rodon. You think Rodon wants to get his routine thrown off?
Hell no.
With the way he's pitching right now?
He's an animal too. Look at the way he was yelling at Boone.
Exactly. It's
the guy could give up 6 runs and you take him out in the 5th. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Don't take me out of this game. You're like, bro, you got smacked today. What are you doing?
He's like, who got smacked? Not me.
Who got smacked? Not me. Blame it on Gleyber.
He said, I'm doing the smacking. Nah, but I mean, Rodon is not the guy that I would like to like sit across the table from and say, hey, Los, we're thinking about going to a 6-man. Like,
shit.
It's not a conversation I want to have. I'm just saying, hey, maybe Booney does. I don't know.
He
Bubbles
starts it off
has
like,
surprised me in the past, but
imagine he starts it off like this. He's like, with the season I had last year. He's like, really low talking about it. Let me give you guys a rundown with the year I had last year. You guys jerking me around. It's like it's just gonna elevate.
Once they start talking, you guys are jerking me around. Shit is going bad.
Ashley's gonna walk in a room and then forget about it. It's really
it's over. Listen, guys. Again, and Pete said it. Stroman, again, another guy, creature of habit.
Yeah, big
very,
time.
very meticulous about his routine. I don't know if you guys saw that interview with him and Marakovitz. He was talking about the candle. He's got all the guys doing the candle thing now. Listen, seems like, some of this stuff, I see people, they get a real kick out of it. I don't know if people just don't realize it, but starting pitchers are fucking weirdos, bro. I'm telling you. Like, it just goes with the territory. Like, you almost
look at
have
Trevor
to be,
Bauer.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean, that's a whole different guy.
It's a whole different weird.
That's a
Sorry,
whole
everybody.
different
It's late. It's late. Let me get one shot in.
He said, look at Diddy Bauer over there.
Look at Diddy.
Listen.
Diddy was a pitcher in high school.
Listen, man, Diddy, he might have been. He was pitching and catching out here. But anyway, hey, yo. But I'm telling you, starting pitchers are weirdos. I'm not saying that just to say it, bro. I was a starting pitcher. I don't consider myself like really out there, but I have my routine and I have my little superstitions. And if somebody fucked with one of them, let's just say it didn't go too well, teammate or not, like there was a conversation that was had. It doesn't change when you go to college or you get to the majors or like it gets worse. And I just don't think you want to throw off the juju, the vibes, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't think you want to throw it off right now.
Right.
It's working and it's really freaking working. So Cashman has got his work cut out for him, bro, because
Facts.
He's got a hell of a decision to make. And
I'm
glad you brought up the Clark Schmidt thing because I did see that over the weekend and I was like,
it's nuts. It's not gonna happen.
That's not a possibility. Like, I think people are looking at the numbers and they're saying, well, if you can consider Luis Heel, how could you not consider Schmidt when Heel has better numbers than Schmidt?
It's not about that necessarily.
But it has nothing to do with that. Like,
correct.
The Yankees aren't looking at it. They're looking at it as Schmidt pitched his most innings last season. He came back healthy. He had a great spring and he's having a great season. Like, we're not going to scale him back. We're trying to build him up further.
Correct.
Like, if anybody is going to be like, okay, hey, you had a good run this season, but like we're gonna pull it back a little bit because we're trying to build you still, it's gonna be Luis Heel, and we're not gonna like
sucks.
it. But
It sucks, but it is what it is. I think we
really
all,
is.
a
You
lot
said
of,
it. You said when they said the innings limit thing, you was
well,
like,
yeah,
listen, I
you
don't
knew
know.
it was bullshit. I knew it was bullshit. And look, I'm not, I don't want it to come across to anybody that, I'm knocking the Yankees and maybe the Yankees haven't changed and things like that. I don't think there's a team in Major League Baseball nowadays that's going to say this guy just came off Tommy John. He missed a whole year. But the year prior to that, he threw like 91 innings, 94 innings, whatever it is. We're automatically going to get him back his first year and let him go 150 or 140. There's not a team in baseball, folks. And I get it. They got ways of measuring this stuff now. There's an iPad and cameras at every single bullpen mound and session that they have. And there's ways of kind of figuring these things out a little better, but they're not going to increase his workload that much. I just do not see it. I've said it before. If he hits 120 innings this year, I would actually be like, damn, I'm actually surprised. If he goes 120, 125, 130, I'd be like, holy shit, that absolutely stuns me. I think right now I want to say he's about 55 innings. I think he's at about 55. Yeah, I just don't see it where they truly just go, he's been this good. My hands are up. Let him keep going to 140, 150, 160 this year. There is no way I see it. And even if Louis Hill himself is like, I feel great. I'm still hitting 100 like it's nothing. There's no spin rate differences. Everything is fine. I'm good. I just do not see them allowing that to happen at all. So
before we jump, if we're gonna move on from the topic, I do want to say, because you mentioned something earlier, and I don't know if maybe I misheard it or whatever, but if I did, then correct me. But if I did hear it right, then I like this idea as a possibility, and I hope Cashman considers it. Maybe there's a world where you don't get rid of anybody completely. Maybe you do try that piggyback thing. Like, we know that, Nestor is a guy who struggles to go deep into games. He's done it a couple times this season, but it's also not really been his MO career-wise.
right.
Maybe there is a world where you say, all right, with Nestor, we're gonna give him the start, right? But we really just want to get him into the fourth inning. So give us what you have. Give us the best that you can give us, 1 through 4. And then we're bringing in Heel, right? And if Heel can give us 5, 6, 7, if he's looking good enough, maybe 8, that's a day every 5 days that we are going into the game hoping and praying that we're saving the pen. And it's like
Right,
a reset
exactly.
day. It's like a pen reset
Yeah.
day every 5 days. You're resetting the pen because I have a starter going, but I really have 2 starters going, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna piggyback. And you have Heel, warm up pretty much as if he's warming up for a start, like Nestor's pitching, and you have Heel in the pen in the second inning, getting loose and getting warm as if he's getting ready for a start. It's again, it's out of the box, it's whatever, but it's like, Pete, with problems like this, they have to get creative.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with that is too, right? If you do have something like that happening, let's say come September, you start transitioning Louis Hill to go, hey, look, now we start transitioning you into that 1 inning possible late guy, fireman to put out the fires into postseason. You get a guy on 4, oh shit, bases loaded. Well, I need a K artist to come in. Louis Hill's your guy. Kind of like how Phil Hughes was when he kind of just entered into that 8th inning type role.
Yeah.
So maybe, there's so many ways you go about this. And again, look, who knows? Maybe that will be the way the Yankees go. It does make a bit of sense. Connor O'Neill, just to touch on this topic a little more, says 0 chance of a 6-man rotation. Cole wouldn't do it. He's a creature of habit. Spring training, I don't know. I saw it, but he doesn't look at anyone till after his work is done. Then he's the nicest guy ever. Yeah, well, I mean, when he's Carlos Rodon's the same way. We all saw him. Way. He's kind of separated from everybody. He's like, I'm not going to be with the whole team. I go out there myself and do my work. These guys, like Francis said, they're a little weird at times. Guys have their own ways of going about their business.
Whatever works at the end of the day, man. I tell you, when I was starting, listen, I got friends, we played in high school together. They'll tell you, look, if it was a different person if he was starting than if he was like playing short or the outfield. If he's playing short of the outfield, he's out there. We're laughing. We're eating sunflower seeds. We're throwing gum at each other. We're, whatever. If he's starting, he's on the furthest corner of the field, not talking to anybody. And if you go talk to him, he's going to look at you like you have 12 heads. It was my process. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk during the game. Like, it was just, and I'm a talkative motherfucker, but when I'm pitching, I needed to be here. Listen, man, whatever works, bro. You got to do what works for you.
I was the kid who hit a couple of dingers, and then I had McDonald's after.
He's like, what I'm gonna get? He's like, I need a McChicken, man. I'm
Bro,
working hard out here.
Everybody else is out there like drinking Gatorade. Here comes Pete with a Coca-Cola.
My brother, I had a teammate. I had a teammate that whenever we had a game at Inwood, he would disappear from the bench to go get a chimney. Like my coach wanted to like hang this kid.
Oh,
like
my coach hated me, but he had to play me, but he hated me.
He did it every time. But this short, pudgy son of a bitch, he played third base like nobody's business.
Yeah,
oh my, he was a
I wish
vacuum.
Pop Simonetti was here with me right now. I really do. I really wish Pop Simonetti was here because he would yell at me. He's the one buying it for me, but he'd yell at me about it still, right? So I would be the type that I'd have even an open sandwich in the dugout. And I'd be taking bites in between innings, bro. Washing it down with a Coca-Cola. Then I go out there and double, and I was so slow, fam. And if my coach, to warm up, a lot of times you just run around the field, the whole thing. And then you'd ever do the drill where you go through first, you go back home, then you go first to second, back home, first to third, back home, then all the way around.
All the way around. Yep.
My coach hated me so bad because I would just be like, I'm not running. And he was like Aaron Boone because he never benched me. So he never benched me. I'll be batting third, either catching, playing second base, third base, or that's it. I would never play the outfield. No, I wasn't doing it. My positions were there, and that is it. And then the funniest, this is not funny, but I dislocated my hip on a rainy day around the first base. I doubled off the wall. I think I told you the story. And when I fell in, it like popped back in place, and everybody thought it was a gunshot. That's how loud it was, apparently. I don't remember that. I just remember being absolutely destroyed. And they had to get like 3 people to carry my big ass off the field.
That's painful, man. Like, hey, again, bro. I mean, if you was hitting, he can't sit.
Oh,
you.
yeah, bombs.
Listen, man, you know how it's a coach mantra from way back when. If he's hitting, he ain't sitting. And that shit rings
I
true.
had a coach that was really fucking good, though. So I had a coach, my friend's name was Timothy McDaniel, and his father was he wasn't a coach on the team, but he was like the one that had helped everything. So he's still like considered the coach, but he would help a lot. He would throw BP a lot and things like that. And I remember he would throw me BP a lot. He worked on my batting stance, and my stance was a lot like Sammy Sosa's. So I had the wider open, hands out over the plate.
Yeah. And
I did one batting session with him before All-Stars for the travel team, travel All-Stars. And I was hitting bullets, and he come to me and my dad. He goes, he's going to hit a home run today. Like, he is dialed in, locked in. First batter of the game, I hit a bomb to left center field out like a bullet. And I told my dad, if I home run, I'm going to do the Sammy Sosa jump. Yo, I hammed the shit out that home run, bro. I took so much time rounding those bases. You don't even know to the point they hit me in the thigh the last time, but I was fat as shit. That did nothing. That did nothing to me, bro. It just bounced off. I was like, get out of here.
Right back to the bench and got the sandwich and said, listen, man.
I said, bro, it's like the sandwich. It goes right to the thighs.
I used to, I mean, it's crazy. I wasn't a big showboat like with the home runs, but I had my moments. Like if I felt like something wasn't going my way, or I had a rough day, or I didn't like to do pitching or whatever, and I got him. Oh yeah, I fucking hammed it. I didn't give a fuck. But man, I mean, we were kids, man. That was the game. That's why I get so upset these days when you see people get all uptight and they're like, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that or whatever. It's like, bro, did you ever play as a kid? Because that's the game.
That's what it is, man. Yeah, it's all about having fun. And
like half the fun of the Yankees this year are those vibes. Like
the antics, the little antics that you never get to really see. Yeah, it's
that
exciting.
That new handshake, I love that shit.
Yeah,
I taught my wife how to do it. We were doing it all weekend. We were
Wow.
doing we got it down, bro. Like that shit's fun.
John Brophy's funny. He goes, I want to explain. My mother put me on blast, and it's funny because this is kind of similar to it. He said I had a hustle triple in Little League because they told me to run like I was chasing the ice cream truck. Let me tell you something. How bad you know what my mom said? My mom said, get him. See the hat? She said, put a pole on it and put a thing out it and have a Twinkie hanging from it and have run fast. She said that in front of my entire team.
Oh man,
This is the abuse that I got. This is why I'm the way I am. All right, today.
Abused, I tell you.
Abused, I tell you, damn it. Just abused. Crackle Nuts. Jeez, Crackle Nuts. Crackle Nuts said he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight you challenged the coach to a fight?
And then he said, I didn't make the team, by the way. Yeah, I think I gathered that, mid-card. I think I gathered that.
Rod Thompson goes, Pete's bones are made of adamantium. It's funny. I've been big into boxing my whole life. And one of the funny things about it is they would always say shit like that about my hands are like fucking rocks all the time. So I bothered my brother one time, me and my brother John, my oldest brother at the time, we got in a fight, like a legit fight. Now I'm not condoning this stuff, guys. It's not good to fight family members, okay? Matter of fact, it's not good to fight anybody, okay, at all. But we both punched hands together, and his hand broke and mine didn't, and he's like 8 years older than me. But straight out, bah, it was shattered.
He got
Fucking
those rock
Wolverine
hands.
over here.
Listen, man.
Just want to fucking eat the mic right now, like I ate that Chinese food before this game.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you. These people don't understand. I mean, we go to these events. You got these security guards. They don't know that we walking around with freaking Johnny Cage over here. Like they
I'll
don't
bite
realize
somebody's face off if I have to. This is
the
after dark.
danger that they're in. I don't think they
Francis
realize.
has told me some stories about himself. Don't even worry about me. Francis will bite your face off if he has to.
Listen, man. I'm from New York City, man. You already know. Pete, that's what it is. Peace with the Bronx too. It's a different breed. We're a different breed out here. You know,
Me and Francis, I'm telling you, man. I was saying this on game season. One of my favorite things of being in New York last time at the event is me and Francis walking past outside Yankee Stadium. Dude stops the car. And what were you?
That shit was so cool. Oh man, hey, to the community, man. I love when you guys do that.
And what do we do?
Honest.
We stop, yo,
what's up? You say, yo, Pete, Francis, NYYU. I said, oh man,
we're like, yo.
that shit's the best, man. That's just the
man,
best.
it's
In
wild.
the beginning, some of you
weird.
fans got an older version of me. I wasn't used to that. Again, we're from the Bronx. We're not used to that. People coming up and say, hey, you don't know what people's intentions are, but I'm getting used to it now because this thing is growing like freaking crazy. So you go out, you bound to run into somebody, and I work right by the stadium, so forget it. You guys are out there, and I love it. I love the way you guys show love.
He has cops stopping him.
Literally, dude, a cop in the squad car. He was working the overnight, and I'm going into work the next day. He's like, yeah, I was watching you and Pete last night. I think we did like a round table the night before.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I watched you and Pete last night. It's crazy, man. I was like, you a cop, you're supposed to be protected and serving, but they protected and serving. Listen, with the YouTube on. I ain't snitching, man. Don't worry.
No, not at all. If you had somebody in the back seat, they probably like, yo,
anything.
turn that up. It's pretty good. Let me hear
He
this.
said, yeah, I
Put
like
that
these
up.
guys.
I like these guys. Put that shit up a little bit.
Oh,
But
man.
Francis talked about the growth. I mean, we are 25 subscribers away from 27,000. Way ahead of schedule. I think I said this stat on Game Season Live today, but last year for the entire 2023 season, I think we had 8,000. I think it was 8,250 subscribers, something right around there for the whole year. This year already, we got well over 4,000. So we're pushing like 4,400 already, and it's only May going into June. So way ahead of schedule of what we're looking to do this year. So this is the best growth we've ever had in like a 7, 8, 9 day span. So it's really amazing. But the New York Yankees are starting a 3-game set with the Anaheim Angels. Let's go ahead and take a look at what those matchups are going to be. So on Tuesday, Nestor Cortez versus Griffin Canning. Louis Hill on Wednesday versus Tyler Anderson. And then Thursday, Carlos Rodon versus Patty Sandoval. Pretty good matchups.
Not bad. I mean, Tyler Anderson, decent numbers. I gotta say, I feel like he's a guy the Yankees are gonna be able to solve, though. I mean,
I agree.
stop me when you've heard that before. I feel like I've said that going into like every series outlook this season, which just feels amazing to say that I
Yep.
trust this offense that much. Like, I mean, Pete, if they were gonna struggle, it should have been the series that we just watched.
Correct. With the pitching that we
Darvish,
faced.
Cease,
Yeah.
Musgrove. Even though Musgrove had a decent game, 5 Ks. I think he pitched into
Cease
the
wasn't
sixth.
bad either. Cease
Yes.
wasn't bad either.
Cease wasn't bad either. We just beat him. I mean, again, but he's a great pitcher, and I still maintain that he's gonna do big things in this league. But yeah, I mean, they marched into San Diego, didn't have a problem with that series. I don't see them having a problem in Anaheim. Yeah, man. I mean, I want to say, hey, congratulations, Anaheim. You're gonna get to see some decent baseball players for once. I mean, I just feel so bad for that organization. Like it's just like,
man,
oh
I
man, hey,
do. I agree.
enjoy Soto and Judge and Stanton and yeah, man, enjoy it. I mean, Rodon's an animal, so he doesn't care how hard you've had it. He's on a mission this season, so that game's not going to be fun for you. Luis Heel is another guy, doesn't really care about anything. He's just blowing guys away. Doesn't so good luck. I don't. I mean, I don't know what else to tell
You know what I tell him? You guys should really look to show up on Tuesday.
Pretty much. Hey,
show
good
up
luck.
on Tuesday might be your best shot.
Yeah, man.
To do a little something.
Give it the old college try on
all.
Tuesday. Give it the old college try Tuesday, because the next 2 days ain't gonna be fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Give it your all, because I don't know how well that's gonna go for you guys. But the good thing is we got a couple of just to give everybody, before we wrap up here, just to give everybody a little rundown. We got some really big things coming up. I want you guys to take a listen here. So tomorrow, Memorial Day, we are gonna have an All Rise in the morning. So everybody knows that already. 11 o'clock, All Rise. 8:30 tomorrow. NYYST will be live at 8:30, so tune into that. Tuesday, I want you guys to take a listen to this. So Tuesday, Carlos, of course, you guys know Yankees Farm, Los, Dane, John Brophy, and myself will basically be doing a prospects roundtable. Dane has already put together an amazing agenda for it, already shot it over to me. I'm going to shoot that out to everybody so everybody has it. But guys, that is basically like a regular Nights at the Roundtable show to that style. But we are going to be breaking down. And again, I say we because I'm going to just make sure that people's questions are being answered. I'm not the expert there. I'm leaving that up to Los, to Brophy, and to Dane. But you guys know that with the way the Yankees are going, you want to have a really good understanding of who is in our system, because they are a team that is going to keep getting younger. And I do believe these guys are going to keep getting chances. So it's a very, very good time for you guys to learn about who is in our system, who is hot, who is not, because one of the weird things this year about the Yankee system is a lot of the top guys aren't doing great.
Yeah.
And I know it's still early, a lot can change, but I'm going to find it pretty interesting to see what Brophy, Dane, and Los has to say about some of these guys that aren't kind of performing the way we expected, and maybe some guys that are performing a little better than expected. It's going to be a great show. I think everybody needs to be tuned in for that. I know I learn stuff all the time, and I know you guys are going to learn stuff too while you watch it. So I really look forward to that. 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a fact. You guys, honestly, man, we're truly blessed here at NYYU to have the best, and I don't say that lightly. These are the best in the game when it comes to talking prospects, Yankees prospects. You couldn't ask for a better team. I mean, the work that Brophy does, you guys already know Dane's pedigree. Los is a freaking seasoned vet. He knows ball, and especially his minor leaguers. So, I mean, you want to learn about the system, and I know a lot of Yankees fans do, especially these last couple of years. It seems like fans have taken a much more concerted interest in the farm. This is the place to be. This is the place to be. And I don't know anybody else doing a prospect roundtable. So it's like, come on, man. Who but the you?
Yeah, and look, it's the first time ever on this network, on NYYU, that we have our three together. You know, we got Brophy, Dane, and Los together. And look, I'll tell you another thing too. here's what makes NYYU great and why I like roundtables and why I love doing topics where there's multiple guests on a show is because some people's opinions could differ from others' opinions. I talk about this a lot. Dane has taught me about a lot of the Yankee top prospects. Los has told me to pay attention to a lot of these guys. John Brophy, one of the only reasons I know about TJ Rumfield is because in spring he was like, here's the guy I think is the next first baseman for the Yankees. And I'm like, TJ Rumfield, I feel like I've seen his name, but is he really something like that? And he was like, yeah, I think he's going to be. And man, oh man, TJ Rumfield is having a phenomenal year in AAA. And I also didn't know he was a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, but he is. So, and he's a big target. He's a big dude. Yeah. So he's also a big target at first base, a lefty. So it really makes a lot of sense for the Yankees. So I know that's one of the things that I'm pretty sure the chat is going to ask are who are some of these replacements at certain positions that you can see the Yankees have. And I think they are, to be honest, and again, this is not shade at anybody out there doing Yankee stuff. There are other people out there doing Yankee prospect stuff. But I'll be honest with you, man. I kind of see what's out there. I think these three are truly the best. And I know that's going to sound biased, but if I want to learn about a prospect, I have an idea of who I'm going to. I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really, really amazing. I want to hear Dane's take on Will Warren, who is pitching terribly right now. What is it? You know, what is the takes on some of these guys? A guy that had a chance of making the team out of spring training. Right now, you're looking at him like, whoa. What's going on here? So Chase Hampton hasn't pitched. He's out. When is he going to be back? It's a very interesting time, put it that way. And I think Yankee prospects are more popular than they've ever been. And I'm just so happy to have a show like this. I think it's going to be really, really fun to watch and then kind of put it into work. You know what I mean? And to see what they tell us, what comes true and not. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Good part of the season to do it too, right? When you think about
perfect
it.
time.
Right now, May going into June, you can kind of tell, you know, you got a decent sample size with these guys so far down in the minors. So perfect time of year to do it, man. I'm excited for it. I'll definitely be in the chat.
No doubt about it. And Francis, if you want to go ahead and just take us on out.
Listen, man, y'all already know it's Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. You guys will be there on All Rise. If not, I'm going to be in the chat calling you out for not being there because it's all rise and shine, baby. We got a lot of, we're going to be shining, all right? We simply ravishing right now. I know y'all can't wait to hear that. I can't wait to hear that.
I'll probably do my calisthenics in the morning while I do it too, by the way.
Exactly. So look at that, right? Tuesday, we start a series with Anaheim. You know what I'm saying? The Yankees are riding high right now, man. It's a good freaking season. You have to keep it locked. You got to stay tuned. You got to smacky that likey and hitty that damn subby, man. It's the you, man. Who but the you, baby? That's it, man. Y'all already know. It's Designated Spittaz. Keep it locked. Stay tuned because the next episode will, in fact, be the best episode.
And you already know we will never come whack on a Designated Spittaz track. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. See you guys later. Peace, baby. Catch you guys tomorrow morning.
It's heavy. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth, or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause this the company you keep. Stay woke, please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been.